compare it with co-living, compare it with short-term rental, compare it with maintenance rental. With all those strategy, is the less babysitting option. Other strategy, I used to do a lot of short-term rentals all the time. People calling me, okay, I have this problem with the water heater, with the HVAC. I have a problem with the electricity. At the beginning was very, very tough. I arrived to this country with no money in my pocket and my two kids very, very young, 2 and 1 years old. My wife, both with no English at all. Big, big challenge in Charleston, South Carolina. Imagine. I was working in landscaping. My wife cleaning hotels.
Hello, welcome to Dream Start Own, the Path to Own Your Time podcast. I'm Edgar the Connector, and today's guest we have is Conrado Mendez. Welcome, Conrado.
Hey, Edgar, how are you? Edgar the Connector, okay? Come
Yes,
on.
sir. Where are you based out of, Conrado?
I'm living in Miami since 2022. I moved from South Carolina, Charleston. I was living in Charleston for 8 years. And I'm in Miami, baby.
Beautiful Miami. I went to Miami in 2003. You can see right there. This is an award I got from when I worked at Sprint. I was top 2% of the nation in sales. So they sent us to Miami for a week, all expense paid. It was beautiful. We had like meals and open bar all day long. It was amazing. I want to experience that again.
Yeah, as we choose Miami right now by election because really we went to South Carolina when we arrived to this country in 2016, and we that was our vacation place, right? And every time, every vacation was harder and harder, leave this place. And we said, okay, one day we're going to live in Miami. I'm from Argentina. Here I can find my food, the football, the real football.
Soccer, yeah, I got you.
I'm joking with that with American people. The real football. Okay. But like I said, this is a beautiful place, and thanks God we have the option to live here with my family, my wife and my two kids, Tiago and Joaquin, and you can see there are my Y, those babies. Right now they're 11 and 9. Good swimmers, very good swimmers. They are swimming, they're competing and they're really good. They're good swimmers.
It's awesome.
Yeah, but like I said, living here in this beautiful place and create a relationship in South Florida that opened another market that was investing in South Carolina, and that was a beautiful trip since we arrived to this country. But thanks for inviting me to your podcast. I saw a lot of really good podcasts that you did before, and we're gonna pass a good time, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Argentina. I interviewed Emmanuel Severino. He's also from Argentina.
Good friend of mine, Emmanuel. Good friend of mine. Yeah.
Yeah, he had an amazing story with the people he's been helping out.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. We have a really good relationship. We're friends, really.
Great to hear. What is your business like today? You're in real estate, correct?
Yes, sir. I started in at the end of 2016. I started this journey that is amazing. That the beginning was very, very tough because I arrived to this country with no money in my pocket and my two kids very, very young. I did, only 2 and 1 years old. My wife, both with no English at all. It was a big challenge, big, big challenge in Charleston, South Carolina. Imagine, you don't have Latino community there, and now you have more people there. But at the time we arrived, it was very, very tough, and we started working. I was working in landscaping. My wife cleaning hotels. That was very tough at the beginning, but then I found the opportunity. I met a Mexican lady. I want to say her name because she is my angel, Tony Strain, and she gave me the opportunity to do a training with her. There was remember the Rich Dad Poor Dad author Robert
Yeah.
Kiyosaki. Okay, he has a training here. It's called Legacy Education, Elite Legacy Education, and at that time I had the opportunity to be in a training about lease options, and that changed my life forever because I didn't have the money to do it. This lady gave me the opportunity to be present, to be part of this training, and I started doing lease options since then as an acquisition strategy. I did several lease options during my journey, multiple lease options. Right now in South Carolina, in Charleston, a lot of people know me because I'm the lease option guy. Um, but again, was at the beginning was very tough, and now we are really doing lease option as an exit strategy because after I entered to sub two, I was applying sub two as acquisition strategy. But I did 100 plus fix and flip in this journey that almost for gonna be 10 years next year, and that is that was a great experience. And I have to say thanks God because real estate changed my life completely forever. And now we are together in owners club, and I'm creating really good relationship with our owners and created joint ventures with different people in different states, and that is amazing.
Fantastic story. What was her name again?
Tony Strain. Tony Strain. Really, Strain is because she's married with an American guy, right? But I guess her maiden name is Gonzalez or something very Latin, but now it's Tony Strain.
Tony Strain?
Tony Strain, yes.
Shout out to Tony. You created a monster here, a good monster. One doing lease options, learning how to do sub two, and now using it as exit strategy. That's great. I know you had a little Zoom workshop for a bunch of Owners Club members talking about lease options. I didn't make it, but I heard a lot of good feedback from it. So that's great.
Yeah, that was an amazing webinar. And basically, I was showing to other owners how I'm doing lease option, how I was tweaking this tool during these years, right? Trying to see, how can I improve the tool. And this is an amazing exit strategy. And right now, with the market that we are living right now, it's a very, very powerful exit strategy. For me, better than other options because basically you can create a very, very good option for you and for someone else because you are giving the opportunity to people that they don't have good credit to purchase their own house. And this is it's an amazing sensation. I love to do that. I did that with a lot of families, and that is an extra value, right? You can make money in this business, but at the same time, if you can give to families the opportunity to purchase their own house, it's amazing.
Okay, can you elaborate more on the latest lease option you did? Why the family decided to use a lease option instead of buying a house conventional, and what kind of terms they got?
Yes, perfect. The last lease option I did was it's a family. Most of my clients are Latinos because I have a good approach considering it's my first language, Spanish is my first language, and the Latino community in my community, there's a lot of people with very solid income, bad credit. Is the best combination for lease option. And because I'm doing this, is I'm giving to them the opportunity to purchase beautiful houses. My strategy basically is give to the people really good products. Basically, it's nice houses. I improve the houses. I put money on the houses. You know, I'm trying to acquire properties with where I have to do soft rehabs, but at the same time, it looks really, really good. Why? Because I'm understanding that doesn't matter you're doing the lease option, you want a beautiful house, and the people deserve right, nice properties. This is my strategy, and it's going well because what happened is obviously that people was renting for a long time, and they understand that basically instead of renting, they can purchase their own house. but they didn't know about the option. A lot of people, they don't know about this strategy. For the reason is that is the message we are, sending to the community, that it's possible to do it. Basically, why someone is doing this? Because instead of renting, they can start renting with an option to purchase the house. And basically, they have to put an option fee at the beginning that give to them the right to do it. And then they're paying the rent. There's two different contracts. One is a lease and the option. And they can execute the option at any time during the lease period. The good thing is most of the time, there's a lot of people, they don't want to be involved with the financial system because they don't want basically to be, with a 30 years loan. For the reason it's called mortgage, because it's, until until the death, that means mortgage, right? And basically they want to try to probably pay this loan faster than the normal way because they have the income to do it, but they don't have someone that give to them the option. In few words, it's a win-win situation. Why? Because I have a property where I put someone who's gonna take care of the property. They take care of the property incredibly, Edgar, because they are owning the property. They are purchasing the house. I'm not the normal landlord. I don't have to be worried about maintenance because they are responsible for maintenance. I don't have to be worried about payments because obviously we put a lot of skin in the game. They give me, an option fee at the beginning, and obviously they don't want to lose that option. And it's a win-win situation. And in the last property, it was a beautiful property in an area it's called Somerville in Charleston, almost 2,000 square feet house. They did a lot of improvement at the house. They put a swimming pool in the backyard. They extend the square footage of the house, and they love the house basically. And in that case, they qualify for a traditional loan. Basically, they fixed their credit in the period of time that they were leasing. They fixed their credit, and then they apply for a traditional loan. They pay me the balance, they pay me the option, and they continue with the lender. But at the same time, I offer to my lease optionees uh, the option to I can finance the house to them just in case they want. But
That's
this
really
one,
impressive. So they
yeah,
must have adding that pool and adding the square footage when they qualified for the loan. They probably were able to cash out a bit as well, huh?
exactly. They create and they are generating equity as well. Meantime, they are renting.
Right.
You know what I mean? And basically, is what they did. And but again, it's a win-win situation. But there's a lot another people that they don't want to be getting another loan, and they said from the beginning, "Hey, Conrado, can you finance the house to me?" Okay, this is a called seller financing. This is what I'm doing. I'm acting as a bank for them and giving to them an option. They can purchase the house without the necessity to pass that very strict qualification process that a lot of banks, are doing all the time. For that reason, it's a good benefit for the community as well.
Yeah. So you can close faster then as well. That's
You can
fantastic.
put
That's great
no
that you're doing that.
inspection or nothing.
Yeah, that's amazing, dude, that you're doing that. What is a negative side to a lease option?
Okay, you can. Okay, what I first of all I want to start why I'm loving this option. I'm loving this option because basically it's for me the less babysitting exit strategy ever. Compared with co-living, compared with short-term rental, compared with maintenance rental, with all those strategies, is the less babysitting option. That means, other strategy I used to do a lot of short-term rentals all the time. People calling me, okay, I have this problem with the water heater, with the HVAC. I have a problem with the electricity, or there's something that complains sometimes. Okay, you need obviously, or you put in place a property manager that obviously going to cost you money, um, or you have to be dealing with many situations all the time. Co-living, you put a lot of people living in the same place. You know, it's profitable. I like the idea, but what happened with co-living is there's many grays. I'm seeing that, uh, and mean, for me, lease option is more peace of mind. For the other side, what is the negative part? If you want to see like negative, is probably if they execute the option, you have to sell the property right away, and you don't have more the asset basically. But with the tricking I'm doing with the strategy, basically I'm continuing in some way connected with the property now as a lender.
Right, to maximize the income profit from it. Okay, that's
Exactly.
great. Yeah, and being able to have all these properties and be a lot more hands off sounds amazing as well.
And incredibly, you can make amazing ROI, return on investment. If this podcast, obviously, there's a lot of people, investors are looking, to maximize the ROI. But basically, is one of my interest in investment. How much money do I have to put, and how fast I can, return my investment. Basically, this is that every investor going to ask. Again, the way to do it for me in lease option increase the probability to generate very high return of investment. I have some cases where I had infinite return, because if you have the option to acquire, my strategy is acquire creatively, make those repairs. Those repairs are pay those repairs the tenant buyer, okay, because it's the money I'm requesting from them. I recruit the money all the time. I'm working with other people money. That means if you do that, your return is infinite.
That's the best way to do it, right? Infinite returns. So the lease option, is there a percentage? What's usually the amount that decides the lease option for a property? The amount for that option.
Okay, it's a good question. What I'm doing is I'm comparing this with when you're trying to purchase a car, when you're going to the car dealer. Basically, you're in front of the car dealer and salesman, and you said, what are the questions he's asking? Okay, how do you want to purchase this car? Basically, right? How much money do you have for down payment, and how much money you can pay monthly? Those are the questions. If you're in a car dealer, you're all the time you're facing those kind of questions. Why is the same thing? I'm asking the same thing for someone who obviously they have to put skin in the game, because if not, they don't want to take care of the property. And if you don't have skin in the game, probably they don't want to take care of the property as we need it.
Right.
But basically, what I'm doing is, okay, I put a minimum, let's say $8,000 is my baseline, and from that threshold, basically, I'm giving the option to them to tell me, because I present the house and the house is very attractive. That means there's a lot of people interested in the same house. It's like kind of, they are trying to. It's a kind of auction. When you're in an auction that the people are bidding.
Yeah.
And
a bidding war.
Exactly. And there's some situation where people say, okay, I can give you 15. Okay, that's fine. I mean, but again, it's something that I'm putting, basically a base, minimum down payment, and then they can give me more. And sometimes, it depends what they want to do. If you don't want to have any relationship with banks, I can start doing the process to qualify them. But to make this possible, what I'm doing is basically collecting during the lease period of time the down payment necessary to finance the house to them. That, in few words, I'm collecting that 20% down, and I need to finance the house to them.
Okay, I got it. So if they come up with the higher down payment, can that bring down their monthly rent or their monthly rate?
It's a very good question. You need to separate perfectly. The lease is for one side, the option is completely separate. Okay. Why? Because if not, you can have legal problems in that one, because you mix the things. One thing is the lease, one thing is the option. Two separate things. The good thing to do in that way, if they don't pay the rent, is a normal tenant. You can evict them, right? because they are breaching the contract. They are not following the rules. Okay, it's a normal tenant. Okay, you can give options to them to pay, but it's a normal lease. If you have a tenant that they don't pay, or they are behind in payments, obviously you can apply interest first and then send a notification. Then if they don't pay, you can evict them. But for the other side is the option. Okay, how are you going to want to purchase the house? Correct? But again, the option obviously is a right they have over the property. I mean, you cannot sell, you cannot transact, this property, with someone else. They have a right you have to respect.
Understood. When they do a lease option, is a lease option always paid when they start leasing, like before they start their lease, or any time during the time period?
It is flexible. I mean, basically, they can start with an option fee, and then if obviously if they want to go with the option that I finance the house to them, we can make a plan where they said sometime, hey, I can pay every 3 months because I'm a contractor. I have the option to collect some money every 3 months. I can pay you this amount of money. Okay, perfect. Or every 6 months. Okay, that's perfect. Meantime, in the least period of time, they put the money to obviously when you're going to qualify for a loan, how much money, if you don't have credit, the banks are charging? It's very normal that they charge at least 20% down. When you're getting a hard money loan, how much money do you have to put up front?
Right,
20,
25, 20,
30%, right?
30%. Yeah, depending on your credit. Right.
I mean, but what we're trying to do is give an option for people that really they cannot qualify for a traditional loan, and it's working very well. The most important thing is that you take the time to select the right people. It's not the the person that is inquiring for the house. No, you need to select good families. They're gonna take care of the property, right? And
Right.
they have a solid income to avoid any problem.
Yeah, definitely. When somebody does a lease with you, then they do a lease option, they can pay day one, or they can pay within the time frame, because their option they have, what, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? What do you usually break it down at?
Most of the time 3 years. But
Okay.
there's no limit. There's no, I know people that are doing lease option for 5 years, 7 years. I mean, it's flexible. The Empire State is a lease option.
So for them to enable or activate the option, that's when they have to put down that deposit. Is that the way that works?
Basically, they have the option, and they can execute the option at any time during the lease period. At any time. It's not. Let's say they can qualify for a loan and they pay me the balance. That's fine. Let's do it, and everything ends. But if they're going for the route the of basically I'm financing to them the property, we can establish payments, but this is going to be in the option contract, not in the lease. Okay.
Yeah.
And the very, very important thing, if you're going to finance to them, you have to make sure that you are doing an RMLO, residential mortgage loan origination, to avoid any situation, any problem. I mean, you're selling a house to someone who can afford it.
There you go, dropping knowledge bombs. Appreciate it. So you said, going back to how you're picking up these properties, you're picking them up creatively, as in subject to and seller finance.
Basically, what I love to do that is amazing is the investor dream is as SRRR. Basically, is acquisition subject to, renovate, then refinance. But you can refinance if you want. If only going to refinance if the interest rate, the subject to, is not good. If the subject to has 2.5% or 3%, doesn't make sense, I refinance, correct?
Right.
But there's a lot of sub to that 6.5% is the same thing like the refinance. If you can create really good, with the improvement, you can create a big equity on the property.
Right.
You can refinance and get a beautiful cash out, and then make a lease option in the property.
Fantastic. So you're good at buying interest rates high as long as you can add some equity, some value add to the property.
Exactly. Because what happened is what I want to do with the properties is I want to optimize their return on investment. For the reason I'm trying to think creative, trying to say, okay, if I acquire this property subject to, I'm avoiding to close on the property. I'm avoiding to get hard money loan, and I'm avoiding to make anything, right? The house needs some repairs. What some investors are thinking in that way. Okay, I'm going to make a sub 10. Okay, sub 2, repair, selling. But my goal right now is why I'm going to sell a property that can produce money or passive income, getting the depreciation and the appreciation and creating my own portfolio, right?
Yeah. That's great. How many lease options do you have active right now?
Active right now, I have several in most of them in Charleston, South Carolina, because it's the market I know very, very well, and the property price is a property price that is very affordable. The property in South Florida is the price of the houses are extremely high, and sometimes the people they don't have the option to pay, those kind of rent that you have to charge in those houses. In South Carolina or another market is potentially you can make more deals. You have that option, right? Where you have some cash flow on the properties. In South Florida, more in Miami, it's very hard to cash flow on the property. For that reason, my goal right now, I used to fix and flip all the time. I lost the option to do it with several properties. Imagine over 100 plus, I did fix and flip. I couldn't make it, with those houses. What I'm doing right now is trying to keep those houses, trying to make a lease option and creating that option where I can become the lender.
Got it. Is that the only area you're doing the lease options at?
No. Lease options are areas to do it right is South Carolina. In Florida, in Miami is not a good option, but you can do it in areas like Orlando, like Jacksonville. You can find very good prices. And in my strategy, I'm doing lease option where there's a big Latino community.
Okay. Where can somebody find the properties that you have available for lease options?
Okay. Most of the time, what I'm using is Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
Easy. Marketplace. In those, you saw those groups, buy and sell. I'm selling in Spanish is compra y venta. Okay. All those groups, in Facebook,
Yeah.
you have thousands of people there.
Are you doing any ads at all, or is it just in the marketplace?
Nothing. What I'm doing is putting, those properties there, and I put as a rent. I put owner rent the property with option to purchase.
Okay, nice. That's cool, man. Being able to do it without ads and just posting into the groups. That's a very good method to do it, and you're being successful.
You can make ads if you want to, trying to put more estimate in the deal. But again, with this is enough. For the reason there's no excuse to don't do it.
That's great to know more about your systems. Do you have your buy box set up that Paces pushes to have?
Yeah.
Where can they find that at?
I have my Blink card. I'm sharing with most of the time with wholesalers, agents, and other investors. I'm sharing with my Blink. I put my buy box. I'm purchasing right now. We have presence in South Florida, Charleston, South Carolina, South of Texas, Dallas, Vegas, and Wisconsin.
So it's your buy boxes on your Blink card, which will be available down in the comments below, in the description below.
Yeah, I can copy.
Yeah, I'll put it on there. And then where can they find you on Instagram?
My name, Conrado Mendez. You put my name, I'm going to be the first Conrado Mendez that appears there. You're going to see with my cash flow t-shirt, Conrado Mendez, Facebook. My name is my brand. Facebook too, YouTube, TikTok, all the social media. We're trying to work hard in that one. Every time improving because we are in the same community. We are working hard on that one. But it's very important to have a social media person.
Definitely. Yeah, Pace Morby's been pushing us on that. That's one reason I created the podcast, and I'm enjoying it, meeting people and understanding different strategies to do it. Your strategy is great. I love it. I'm going to lean on you to get some. Hopefully you'll expand to Texas and I can bring you some deals that you can partner up with on a lease option. And
Texas has a little situation with lease option because it has been banned,
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Look at what is called Lease option is the same thing that executory contract. The same thing. But you can still do it, make this. I prefer in Texas to do grabs, only in Texas is the, the
Right.
situation. But in the 49 other states, you can do lease option with no problem at all.
Texas has got to be unique, huh?
Yeah, it's unique. It's unique. But
Okay.
there's a bunch of opportunity in Texas. Other of my active income activities, fix and flip. I'm doing fix and flip. Thanks for Owners Club. I'm going to start doing fix and flip in Dallas as well. Going with Ali and other guys over there. We're going to try to make some things together. And there's a lot of owners that we were talking to generate joint ventures. Obviously, Edgar, with you, we can make things together. Obviously, we have to talk about it. But again, it's very important to use our community. It's so powerful. We have people that raise money, have fix and flip. They're using fractional, multifamily, RV parks. I mean, basically, you have a pool of options there. Obviously, are great opportunities for all the owners, and we have to do it.
Definitely. It's one of the things I've been taking advantage of in Owners Club. I think I've done deals with about 7 different ones now. So, they're all different. So I'm looking to do more and expand my network and help my Mount Everest. What is your Mount Everest that Pace Morbius has pushed us to focus on?
System and processes. My obsession, okay, is how to improve my system and processes to scale my business. I'm working on that. Right now, I'm working on that. I'm closer and closer because I'm working hard, obviously using AI. The other day, I had the opportunity to speak in a really good event, how I'm using AI to generate leads. And basically, I use different tools that conversational AI. A lot of people in the group knows about Prop AI, or it can be something like a Astro Blaster as well to send text to agents. But we are using our own tools right now. Basically, we are creating the option to do the same thing. Basically, create the workflow, trying to automatize as much part of the process as possible, right? This is the thing. Right now, there's a lot of technology available and very, 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 affordable. And we can make a big difference if we are trying to generate those processes and systems. But this is my Mount Everest, how to scale my business and how to create better relationship. For the reason I'm working really hard this year in this kind of connection, right? Every day I'm doing at least 3 or 4 meetings with other owners, right?
Fantastic. Yeah.
And this is the way, half an hour, but you can plant the seed and you can be very surprised how you can create really good relationship and potential partnerships, right? With those people. But be creative. Basically, in this, we have something that is really important, is the knowledge. The market pay for knowledge. The market pay for value. If you can't do that, there's a lot of people are willing to pay you, for an advice, for consulting, or only to, business with them. And like I said, that is important. For example, I have, because I did a bunch of fix and flip in my journey. There's a lot of wholesalers that they know me, and they say, "Hey, Conrado, you can make the fix and flip for me, my fix and flip. I have my own crews, I have my own people, and basically what I'm doing is using my people to make the fix and flip, and I'm in the middle and the middleman. And this is what I call flip my contractor. Basically, I put my contractor in connection with an investor. I'm in the middle, and I get a benefit for that option, or acting as a consultant, giving advice to other investors. Right now, I'm in a process because there are some people they don't know how to get advantage of. Right now, they purchase a property and the market is slow right now, and they made an appraisal. And the appraisal was bad because they picked the wrong appraiser. Right. If you have the good connection and you can have a lender, that is give me the option to pick my own appraiser when you're doing the SEO. This is a big difference.
Heck yeah. Yeah, we lost $40,000 because of an appraiser. We were trying to get $690 on one and we only got $640. So yeah, it definitely makes a difference on the appraiser that you get.
Exactly. But again, it's important the relationships, and my best strategy right now to acquire or to receive deals, leads or good leads that gonna become deals, right? Is direct to agent and direct to wholesaler. I mean, I create a really good relationship with agents and wholesalers all the time, and they bring me options. Hey, Conrado, I have a situation with this wholesale deal I cannot sell, and do you think that we can make something creative here? Of course, all day long.
Yeah, creativity can get you so much more out of a project, out of a property than you can with traditional, standard, conventional, or just a fix and flip.
Exactly, 100%. For the reason, this is why we are learning. And another very important thing, Edgar, and you know that, is invest in education. You know, we are in owners for second year, and we are not seeing this like an expense. It's an investment. It's a big difference. And if you invest in education, in relationships, is where it's like a Pandora box. You start discovering different things, and incredible things happen all the time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, knowledge is power, like you said. And the thing about knowledge is it's not powerful until you share it. Just having it, if it's not being shared, is not doing anything. You have to share it and use it for it to be powerful.
Exactly. And for example, in my case, I'm trying to connect with owners and trying to share what I know about lease option, trying to emulate this in different markets. For the reason, if there's some people over there that they want to know more about lease option, how to do it, how to apply this in their markets, I'm really happy to share with them and to partnering with them, and generate synergy. You know what I mean? With synergia, you have 1 + 1 is 3, right? And
Yeah.
and this is a cool thing to work with together with other people and create relationships. And this is the best part, to be part of this kind of community, like sub 2 owners or other kind of real estate communities, right?
Yeah, for sure. Especially those communities that Pace has put together, the Sub 2 and the Gator and Owners Club, such a go-giver community. If you want to join the community, description below. If you have any questions for Conrado on his lease options, Conrado, how can somebody work with you today? What do you need from somebody or to call you? What do you want them to call you with to provide value to you?
Perfect. Good question. If you're in a struggle to generate cash flow with the property, call me, because basically, this is what happened. There's a lot of people, they don't know, oh my God, I cannot cash flow in this property. This is not a good deal. Wait a second. Depend the strategy you're using. If you're using a good exit strategy, you can generate cash flow because you're using the correct strategy. If someone wants to be rich only doing long-term rental, this market is going to be very tough, right?
Yeah, this market's slow right now.
Exactly. For that reason, when I'm doing this is, okay, if you are in struggles right now, trying to generate cash flow in your property, call me, because lease option is a really, really powerful strategy for that purpose. And at the same time, you're helping people to acquire their own property. You know what I mean? For that reason,
definitely win-win.
I love this strategy. And I recommend this 100%. You contact me, you tell me, okay, I have this property and we can squat up and trying to make this possible. But
squat up.
Exactly. But I have a proposal for you, Edgar, if you don't mind. Listen, this podcast, because you know what happened with podcasts? I don't want that the podcast is going to be boring, right? And what I'm trying to do is, okay, let's make something different, something that we can create value for people, and trying to give a good advice or an example to someone else. Let's do something. If we didn't practice about it, you don't know about it, but this is going to be my proposal. Let's practice what I'm doing every day, when I'm connected with other owners. You're an owner, you're an owners club, and basically what I'm going to show to your audience is how to create that value. Basically, what I'm going to do is trying to know what are Edgar's superpowers, right? What Edgar is doing well. Basically, how Edgar can be my who, and I can be the who for it. This is what I'm doing all day long. Okay, if you want, we can do this exercise. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'm good at, if I have one superpower. They say a jack of all trades is not a master of none. So we'll see though.
What's your superpower, Edward?
I do too many things. I don't know. I really don't know what my superpower is. Problem solving, trying to connect people, technology.
Okay. But like I said, I'm going to change the question. Basically, what is the value you can provide to someone else? I mean, what kind of problem you can solve for another investor?
lots of problems. Like right now, I'm trying to find you people to help you out for your properties, to help you out with your deals. I do connecting. I'm helping Louver with PMLs, PMPs. I did a credit sponsor for one of his properties. So now we're part owners on it. I bought into a deal with another owner, Adam Louver. I've done some Gator lending as well. I'm helping people out with the social media. I help people. That's my superpower, is to help people.
Nice, but it's extremely powerful. Helping people. I mean, and you can help me. Because sometimes I have deals, right, where I need obviously capital to make this possible, right? Or I need some money. The deal is really good. I can explain to you, hey, Edgar, I have this opportunity here. You want to be involved with me? We need to raise X amount of money to make this possible.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to as well. I was going to ask, I pulled up your buy box to see where your fix and flips are happening, because you've done over 100, which is amazing. Are you fix and flipping in, where are you fix and flipping at? I know you said Bad Dallas.
The main market, when I say Dallas, I'm going to start in Dallas, okay, very soon. But my main market is Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay. And those deals, you're getting a lot from wholesalers as well and direct to agent?
Exactly. 100%. Okay. 99% came from them.
Fantastic. And then people can look at your buy box and send you deals if they fit your buy box to be able to do more fix and flips in South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah. But I can do fix and flip in South Florida as well. If the deal is good and there's obviously makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
My buy box is very clear. I'm purchasing properties. If my criteria to purchase for fix and flip is 70% ARV, less repairs. That's it. If your property fit that criteria, good. If not, it's not good. I mean,
of course,
we can negotiate it. We can see it. You're right. Creative deals. I want only deals that with sub 2, only with properties with 5% or below interest rate. Then obviously, at least in my criteria is 20% cash on cash. I don't like less than this. And basically, I'm willing to purchase land as well in South Florida. This is something we are doing. I didn't talk about it because it's another animal, but I'm doing this. Basically, I'm finding land where you can build a luxury property here in Miami. There's a really good business here. Okay. And we can try and I'm wholesaling those lands to developers.
Oh, wow. Okay? What a smart move.
But again, it's about, if you had a good deal, we can discuss that one. We can try to make something together in those markets I told you. But my goal is connect with people like you. You help people. Okay, perfect. You can raise capital, correct? You said that?
Yeah.
Okay, you can raise capital. For example, I have an example right now. I have a deal.
Okay.
You have to tell me if there's a deal or not for you. It's an opportunity. This is an option I can execute with that people. But like I said, they are really motivated because they are foreigners. Right now, they have some kind of implication with the Trump's policy, right? And they're from Colombia. They're investing here. They're investing in Cape Coral. Right now the market, like in all the Florida, slowing down. And what happened? They invest a lot of money. And when they're investing that money, they spend more money right now that the appraisal came, right? They spend 1.1 million and the appraisal was for 987. What is the situation? They have hard money loan. That is the most important thing for them right now to pay off that hard money because it's gone, past more than 12 months. But that is the motivation. And you can create a very, very good option for them if you can purchase the house and you can offer to them, okay, I'm going to purchase the house for the amount you owe to the hard money, and you can start financing to me the rest of your equity. But basically, my strategy can be 7-year balloon, okay, 0 down, 0 interest. I'm going to take care of your equity. But right now, I'm going to take this property that the market is very slow. I'm going to, obviously, what is my strategy right now? If we do that, basically, I can do this thing in 2 ways. Basically, I can get a loan with no prepayment penalty to acquire the property, then make some improvement to create this property like kind of Airbnb experience. Cape Coral is really good for Airbnb in that sense. If you create an experience, you need to put at least 50K in the house, because the house is completely renovated. It's beautiful, amazing. It looks incredibly. But if we put that money, but to make this possible, what you need to do? First of all, that loan, you need to put the 25% down. But this is going to be only for a month because basically what the lender is allowing me is to get the first loan. With that loan, right, I'm going to acquire the property. but only I'm going to acquire the property for the money they owe to the hard money. That is 670, 660, 670, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to close on the deal, put the money you can take this like a transactional funding, right? Because it's going to be for a short period of time. And then I'm going to get the DSCR loan with obviously trying to get a better appraisal and cash out money as well. But the good deal is that we can keep that property, acquiring that property for maybe the half the price, right? And with the equity, seller financing with a 7-year balloon.
0-0. Yeah.
Okay. But what I need, someone that is willing to put that money for that period. You see, there's opportunities. The situation is the people have to see the options and the opportunities. But basically, something that I'm willing to do for myself as well. But I don't want to work with my own money all the time. I want to use other people's money because it's the very best way to leverage, right? And I'm willing to share the profit as well.
Yeah, we'll talk more offline about that one. See if go through the numbers and see if that's a possibility in Cape Town. I don't know anything about Cape Cod.
Cape Coral.
Cape Coral. Okay.
Cape Coral. Yes, Cape Coral. Okay.
Yeah.
But again, my friend, it's always a pleasure to talk with you. You are not only another owner, part of the community. I'm considering you as a friend. We have really good connection. Very good. We spend a lot of time talking during our meetings. And I hope to make something with you in the future, of course.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm learning more about lease options, not in Texas. And you got a couple of minutes before you got to go. I appreciate you coming on. What advice do you have for somebody starting either entrepreneur or real estate, either or?
The best advice I can give to someone that just started is they invest in education and nurture the mindset. It's so easy to give up in this business. Okay. The most important thing is generate resilience. I mean, doesn't matter what, whatever it takes, keep going. Zero speculation, right? Because there's a lot of people that say, okay, I'm going to do it. It's my opinion. Okay. It's my opinion. I guess the best way is there's no plan B. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's tough. I know that. Very hard. But it's the best way to do something and really trying to get the best of yourself, or because you train your discipline, you train your mindset, you train every day. You say, I can do it. This is possible. I mean, but you need a strong mindset. You need to all the time fight with your fears, with your, the imposter syndrome. Every day you're fighting with them. I'm fighting every day. Every day I'm hesitating. I don't know how to do this. But it doesn't matter. That's going to happen all the time. But if you nurture your mindset and you're trying to do something to make this possible, you can use meditation, you can use reading, you can use, praying, I don't know. But the mind will control everything. If you don't have this in control, or maybe trying to be in control of that one, it's going to be very, very, very tough to be an entrepreneur, or to invest, or to be willing to, to have some kind of risk tolerance.
Very, very well said. Be able to nourish your mind, man. Great advice there. Thank you so much. Drop a comment below. Let Conrado know how you can help him out. If you have a property you don't know how to cash flow, reach out to him and we'll get you connected to see how we can hopefully turn it into a lease option and make a deal with Conrado there. And we'll see you in the next one, man. Appreciate you coming on and hope to see you on your podcast soon.
Thank you so much, Edgar. Thanks for your time and your invitation. Bye-bye.
Catch this next podcast where you can start your dreams and start to own your time the way these other guests have.